I'd like to do a little video on my 1940s logging winch that has been repurposed into my boathouse winch. And I know it's a logging winch because it came out of a logging camp probably in the 60s and was barged down here on an old Boston whaler and set up here in my boathouse. And it tows my Hughescraft out of the water, and I'll show you how that works in a minute. But the logging camp it came from, we're in the Pacific Northwest, the Cascade Mountain Range, and so you're looking somewhere up around there, kind of by Concrete, Washington, Bellingham, Washington, up in those woods. That's the Cascade Mountain Range, and that's where it came down the Stillaguamish River, which is right about where my finger is. But anyway, I'll show you how it works. I got it hooked up to my Hughescraft. And what I did is just did a quick disconnect so I can switch out boats and jet skis and such. But it's mainly just a gear down, what do you call it, gear ratio type operation. I have a, that's a new, of course, 2 horsepower double phase electric motor that runs a couple belts that runs that gear, which runs that gear, which has a tiny little gear cog down there. You can barely see it, maybe on the other side. Yeah, right down there, which runs the main winch barrel. And then this is your clutch. So if I let it go clockwise, that relieves pressure on that plate right there, and as I close it, it cinches down. And once it's cinched down, I usually give it a little kick with my big boat because it needs to grab. And this here is the brake, and I just pull that back, and then it cinches this brake shoe down, which is kind of just looks like some sort of fabric cloth, you know, heavy duty cloth, but there's no oil or anything on it, of course. So that's what I'll do, and I'll show you how I let it out, but I'll go ahead and turn it on. And of course it's in the closed clutch position, so it's going to start rolling right away. And then all I do is, you know, once a month you got to oil these things. There's a little oil pool right there that I oil, and then there's some grease fittings here and there that I oil up, you know, every other month. But it's a 220, and I'll show you how it works. Here's my antique starter. So you see the little engine's running the pulley, and it's just cruising along. And what it's doing is pulling up the boat. Now, if I wanted to stop it and let the boat down, I'll do this. So I went ahead and stopped it, and what I do is I release the clutch with my foot, and then I take the brake and I simply release pressure, and then it comes out. That's how the boat goes down in the water. But I just got done crabbing, so I'm gonna attempt to close the clutch here. Like I said, I always give it a kick, and then we'll turn it back on.